Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. Like others, I regret that much of the debate at the dispatch box was about fixing the blame rather than fixing the problem. But at least the honourable member for Pontypridd did put forward a six-pack of options, which he rightly asked the government to consider. And let us remember, the salient point of this motion is calls on the government to bring forward proposals for transitional arrangements for women adversely affected by the acceleration of the increase in the state pension age. That is absolutely logical, reasonable and compelling, which is obviously why the honourable member for Worthing East is prepared to support it. I would ask some of his colleagues to join him in supporting it, not least those colleagues who fought very validly and valiantly to restore things for the Equitable Life members, and they called on the taxpayer to make sure that they were supported and restored to some position of equivalence and use taxpayers' money to it. If people were prepared to fight for EMAG, people should be prepared to say if we were indignant for Equitable Life, we should not be indifferent to the WASPI women and what they face. We should be responding to them with justice. It's not just that we have the issue of a breach of trust and a breach of contract here. We also have the question of moral hazard. If Parliament is going to say, well, we can be quite capricious with state pension, we send out a signal, one to all the private pension providers that they can do what they want with will, and politicians will be in no place to reprimand us and regulator won't be able to interfere. We also send out a very dangerous signal to those younger people who were encouraging to have confidence and to show responsibility in terms of their pension planning. We send out a signal to them that what happens to their mother shows that even when you make provision for pensions, you don't even get what you thought you were going to get. They change the rules on you, so see pensions, don't bother about them, just see what you get when you come there. We also need to remember that we shouldn't be offering the mixture of conceit and deceit that we were hearing from some of the honourable members opposite. We were told by the honourable member for Bexhill and Battle that, this matter is settled and therefore it can't be touched. Because it was settled when? By Parliament in 2011. So therefore it's a settled will and we can't touch it. These are the people who are telling us about parliamentary sovereignty and how one parliament can't divide another. They're also telling us that they want to stand up to the EU all over the place. But of course they're hiding behind a completely false explanation of EU rules and EU requirements in defence of this injustice. And it is an intentional injustice that has been visited upon these women. It is not just a case of what the honourable member for Sherwood told us, a line has to be drawn somewhere. These are not just some haphazard victims of a drive-by cut in the name of austerity. They have been carefully selected and calculated as the victims. Why? Because they have been used to inequality and injustice all of their life. They have received inequality in terms of gender pay gaps. They have received inequality in terms of being denied access to second pensions at a time when their male colleagues were being given access to second pensions. And the name now seems to be, give them one more twist of injustice in the name of equalisation as they come to the end of their working life. That is an absolute travesty. That is offering people stone for bread. And this Parliament should be doing better than that. And of course, as regards the settled will, currently in Parliament we have legislation going through which will be changing legislation went through the last Parliament. The Financial Services Act and the Banking Reform Bill went through the last Parliament. They are being changed by legislation going through now. Enterprise Bill is changing legislation that went through in the last Parliament. Trade Union Bill is changing legislation that went through in the last Parliament. And of course, yesterday we had the Welfare Reform and Work Bill, which of course was also changing legislation that went through in the last Parliament. They can change the legislation to bring cuts, they can't change the legislation to bring justice to people. And let's remember, as compared with 2011, what we have now is pension freedoms. We have a tax windfall for the Treasury with pension freedoms. Look at the new fiscal ambit that is coming with those pension freedoms and use that to give pension justice.
Shadow Minister Rayner.